Well, we're getting a crowd in here tonight. That's good. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Carver's Wood Shop. I'm from Honeybrook, PA, and it's a warm day today down here, over here anyway. And today we're going to do the sheep. And the sheep this is the one I did today, maybe an hour before coming online. And I do have a survey at the end that I want to share with you at the end of this broadcast about doing live broadcasts. So I'll ask that at the end. Okay, so let's begin with our new little thing. Hello, Jack and Jenny. And hello, Nina and Elizabeth. I'm seeing all these names pop up. All right, hang on just a second and we'll get started. It's been quite a busy day today, so all right. So it's the same size as all the others that you see back here, all right? I already marked this off. It's very similar to what we did with the cow and the sheep. And one of the things that I want to share with you on that is that you can pretty well do the same thing. The ears are a little bit thinner than the other two, but what I do is I make a little mark at the top here. All right, a little mark here. I hold my finger the same way, and I lean my finger up against it, and I put a mark here. And then I make the mark for I make an upside down C for the, or upside down U for the feet. Then we go and we do the same distance over here from one side to the other. Okay, and again you're going to go ahead and make an upside down U. And you're going to do the same thing to the other side of the foot. Always measure with your finger and your pencil, and then you don't need a ruler for that, okay? So that's how we usually do it. So once you get that done, the feet, then I usually mark the bottom of the nose here, okay? This part right here. Now we're going to put the ears in first to know where to go with our little V tool, as we have been doing. And actually this one loops all the way around. The others did not, but this one will because it's a different color, and it just works out better that way. So what you want to do, again, you want to measure a little bit here, a little bit here, all right? And then you're going to go up a little bit above the foot, and you're going to put a little line in, all right? Same thing over here with the other side. You're going to put a little line in, and you're going to have the same depth from here to here on the back. And then you're just going to taper it to that line and go up a little further. And here's where, and then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're going to bring it up like this, and hello, James, and also the other side. You're going to do the same thing. You want them all the same. Now, the ears are going to be the same height on each side of the head, so we're going to measure that out next. So you're going to take your pencil and you're going to just mark a line here and a line here. Okay, and take a look at it. It looks pretty straight to me. Okay, good. So what you're going to do is you're going to round this at the top here a little bit. Just a little bit. Just like so. Same thing over here. You're going to just take it and mark it a little bit. There you go. All right. Now the face. Now that's kind of an oval shape, but it's not really an oval shape. Well, it is an oval shape, but it's a little flat on the top here. So that's what I did with this one here. It's a little different, but they're not all going to be the same. You can make it a little smaller if you want, or a little bit larger. It's entirely up to you on how you want to do it. So let's, whoops, back to this. Okay, so I'm going to mark it a little bit here above the feet and down a little ways. You don't want it right near the top because you need a little bit of this crown at the top. All right, you need a little bit of this crown at the top here. So, and then you're going to measure the same thing on both sides of the face. So I'm going to go a little closer to the ears because there isn't a lot of space between the ears and the face. If you can see that, there's not a lot of space between the two. All right, so we're going to make it a little bit wider. And I'm going to do the other side as well. And then I'm going to go straight across a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it. And actually, I want that a little wider. Because the eyes have to go up there, so you have to have some room to put those eyes. Because I always like, if it's possible, to make the eyes bigger. A big nose, big eyes always get a cuter look to your piece. So you want to try to do that. Okay, now I'm going to bring this down and around. And this is going to be a little thinner down here, but just like so. I think I'm going to make that a little wider. I'm not happy with that. Go a little bit wider. Let me take a look at that. Okay, I think that will pass okay. All right, so hello everyone that just joined us. Now, my question, and you know, you can answer it at the, I'll wait till the end, will be regarding the live video and what you would prefer. I am working on a 4th of July. I have something in mind today. I have to make one before I can teach how to do one. So I'm going to be busy with that. So we're going to take our knife. If you have your thumb guard on and your glove, that would be a good thing. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little notch at the bottom here as usual. I always start at the bottom. The top of the feet, or the hoofs, whatever you want to call them. It's fine. Well, we have actually 3 more weeks of doing these. We're going to do, next week we'll do the shepherd. The following week we'll do the 3 wise men. I'll only do one and show you different variations of that so you can make 3, because I think it would be boring to do all 3 in a row once a week. And then the other thing we'll do is we'll do the angel. So we'll get a whole set done. And you can make as many sets as you like for Christmas. Okay, we're going to notch out this side as well. So I'm going to start moving here and get going here. And the top of the foot. And the bottom part of the ear. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to notch the top of the head. So we're going to kind of push. And notice I push with my thumb too. I don't use just my arm strength, but I usually rock it a little bit and push with my thumb. All right. And we're going to just do a nice big V cut with a knife. Just like so. Okay. Now that you have all those notches, we're going to put a little notch at the top of the ear as well, just to give us some extra guidance. And we're going to take our V tool, if I can find my V tool. Here it is. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the feet out first, is usually what I do. Let's take this out. 1, 2. I'm going all in one direction right now, and that's why I'm flipping from foot to foot. And then I'll turn it the other way and we'll do the other side. You notice I have my thumb on my piece when I cut. We're still in lockdown in Chester County. Things are slowly opening up here, but I don't know. Everybody has a different opinion if we should be open or not. But in our county, I live in Honeybrook, but in our county, which is not Lancaster, it's Chester County. We're right next to Lancaster County. We've lost 252 people here in this county alone. So, and I think we lost one person in Honeybrook. I think there's like 30 cases in Honeybrook. So it's still out there. But anyway, but I don't know if it's still going up or not in this area. I still think it was rising last week yet, or the end part of last week. We just had Memorial Day down here for those folks that are watching from Canada. I know I have somebody watching in the UK. Said they were going to set their alarm to watch. Thank you for watching. But you can always catch it on YouTube later if you miss it. I will put this on YouTube later on. Okay. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. Okay, that doesn't look right. I'm going to push the ear over a little bit. There we go. It's too wide. Alright, and the same thing here. We're going to just go up and around. Okay, so we have everything except the face done. We're going to do that next. Here, hang on just a second. And again, you just want to kind of either go on the outside of that. Hello, Justin. Welcome. That sounds good, April. Be interesting to see what you come up with a camel. So anyway, so everything is taken out with, now it looks kind of weird that way. So let's start shaping up the head. So we're going to just, and I'm going to bring this in a little bit deeper. Just like so. And the same thing with the ears. We're just going to go in a little ways. We're going to start rounding things off. And round off the top part of the head. The head's kind of flat. It's not real rounded. Okay, a little bit more rounded on the side to give it that illusion that, hello Jim, and Beth. But I hope everybody's handling this being quarantined for so long in our lockdown. I think as I was talking to my family, most of us are either farmers or we work around the house anyway, and we don't feel it as much as some of the others that might be living in a small home or in an apartment, because we get to walk around the property and do things outside anyway. So there's always something to do. Okay, I took the rough stuff off the top of the head, and I'm going to take a little more off here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to follow our lines a little bit. So I'm going to take, remember we're going to go straight in. We're not doing it this way, you go straight in this way. All right. I have to go check my truck later. I left the lights on, checking something else overnight, and killed the battery, so I've got a charger on it. And hopefully he'll be charged up by this evening. I'll find out. I didn't want to mess with it because it's so greasy to work with one of them, to put the battery cables back on and stuff. So anyway, so I've had my a few mishaps with things around the farm here, but and I have one tire on our big tractor I got priced. It's starting to lose air, and I think it's finally rotting from the inside, so I had to get that priced today. Not rotting, but rusting. So we'll see if I get that done. Alright, so that's first the face. And then we're going to do the feet. We're going to cut it in. And here you're just going to cut a little bit of the corner out on both sides. You're going to, okay, same thing over here. You're going to cut a little corners out. And the back side. So yeah, it's been an interesting day. Thanks, Justin. We'll see you. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, let me pull this back here for a second. Something looked off a little bit for me, so there we go. Alright, so I rounded that off. This was a little higher over here, so I just readjusted that for a little bit. Alright, so we're going to do the feet next. We're going to put our stop cut in, and we're going to just follow this all the way out and around. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to do each foot the same way. Very similar cuts to doing this as it is doing the donkey or the cow. But there's always something to fix around the farm. I've found that out very quickly. It never ends. When you think you've got everything settled for a bit, it changes again, so that solar system that I did a few years ago for my house is still working. It's been there for about 10 years, and it just heats up the house. So it's not for electric. I'd love to put an electrical system in. I'm looking into doing a smaller version of electric, but that will come later on. One of my other little interests is solar panels and things like that. Somebody asked about my solar system at my house. It's still there. I only use it for heating. Alright, so we cut underneath the ears. We cut underneath both ears. Now we're going to cut the ears out a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go, not all the way to the top, but we're going to go a little bit down below. And we're just going to cut this out to the bottom. And we're just going to take a slice out. Remember I talked about just a couple of cuts can make things look deeper. And it really does make a difference. So I'm going to do this side, the front, and then we'll do the back. You want to be careful when you cut in, you're not cutting into the ear if you can help it. Okay, that was a little deeper than I wanted, but that's okay. All right. Then we're going to do the back side of the ear. I'll probably come September, if we're not able to have any classes here at the farm yet, if things are not settled down, what I'll end up doing is doing a couple of ones online, just like what we're doing now. We'll do some Santas, maybe a penguin, a couple of different things, a snowman. How often do I sharpen my knives was the question. Well, whenever they seem dull, then I sharpen them up. You should put them on a strop every half an hour or so. But I usually have enough knives here that I switch around until I'm done with the project. But I love taking it to my wheel that I have in the other in my shop to sharpen it. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the reason you're hearing me answer questions is because I'm live on Facebook. And I just put it on YouTube later on. Okay. We'll see how. Now I'm going to dig these out a little further. Looks awfully blocky to me yet, so. Usually there's a couple of knives I love for a while, and then I switch it to something else. But I usually stick with the same knives for the most part. Some of you asked about the Rough Rider knives. I found them on eBay. They're a lot more money than what I had paid for them a number of years ago. They run about $15 for and that's almost double what I used to pay for these. And it comes with 3 blades, but you'll have to redo the blade. You'll have to regrind the whole thing. It's not ready to do any kind of carving with it. So if you're interested in something like that, you'll have to find somebody to sharpen it up for you. It does take a lot of time to sharpen these things up. I used to do a few of them for some people, and I know people have asked me to do it. If I decide to do that later on, I'll certainly let you know. But I have so many little different projects going on right now. You know, I haven't gotten a lot of carving done here lately. It's just been what I've been doing with you guys for the last several weeks. Take a swig of my hot chocolate there. All right, now. All right, I'm going to look at this from the side. It doesn't look right to me yet, so I'm going to take a little more off here. I'm going to round this off just a little bit more. Now you do want that little bump there, okay? Because you want that to look like his hair or fur or whatever you want to call it, his fluffiness is sticking around his face. So all right, let me take a look at what needs to be done next. Okay, we're going to round the feet first. So if you have some suggestions of what you'd like to see done live on Facebook, then just shoot me a message, if you would, because I will erase all these messages after I put it on YouTube. All these messages, this gets removed, and then you'll have to go to the YouTube channel to watch the video, to watch this segment. So that happens within a couple hours after I'm done here tonight. I put it on as quickly as I can, and then I remove this one off of, so you won't see the comments on here later. Alright, so Go in a little deeper. Not happy with how that looks. Okay, so if you have a couple of projects you want to see done, or an idea, whoops, sorry, no guarantee that I'll actually get it done, but it'll give me some ideas what you're looking for. All right, and okay, so that's 1 foot. Let's do the next one. Take that off. Round off the bottom of the foot a little bit. By this time, you should be really good with doing feet and hoofs, especially the hoofs, because this is the 3rd time that we're doing the same thing, but a little different. It's amazing what you can do with a small block, how many different things. The idea I have for the 4th of July hopefully will be out of one of these small projects. That way I can either this tiny, the miniature, or the ornament one. And these are 2.5 inches tall versus 2.25 tall. Now the tool you're going to need for his fur, or for his fluffy part of his body, what you're going to need is a small gouge. A 3 or a 4 or a 2. I think I use a 2 on this, so you'll need a 2 number gouge, miniature number 2. Alright, so we have the feet pretty well done. We need to put that little center line in there in the middle. So let me grab my V-tool, and I usually go from the middle to the top, and it's not exactly in the middle, I can see that. I do the same thing down this way. Alright, a little crooked, but we'll fix it up. Alright, now I round this off a little bit. Always try to take the hard edges off. That's the one thing you try to always try to do. Okay, and I'm just bring this in a little bit further. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more underneath his mouth here, okay? There we go. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit more on his top of his feet. Give it some depth. Alright. Alright, now I put the little hoofs in. I use the V just in the front. I put a little hoof separation for the hoof. Okay, so the front of the feet are done, the sides are done, these. So now we're going to go more to the face. Again, we're going to cut this out a little bit more, make that a little bit deeper. I need to sharpen this up a little bit. Hang on just a second. I would show you how I do it on the strop, but I have no room up there to show you. So just bear with me for a second. Alright. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I was cutting this portion out right here. See the difference when I strop that? You don't always need an automatic strop or a machine. You can do it by hand. The machine just speeds up things and makes things a little nicer. I'm going to round this off a little bit. Alright, just like so. And I have a little more depth there, and that's what I wanted. Because we're going to trim off just the top here. From the center up, we're going to just take a little bit off. And we're going to just round this off a little bit here down at the bottom. And we're going to take that off a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's really what it looks like. And again, you're going to take all this rough stuff off of here. Ever so careful. And these corners have to come off a little bit. Just like so. Alright. I hope everybody had a nice Memorial weekend. We were still in a lockdown here in Pennsylvania, so there weren't. It's the first time I went to town and there was no parade in town. I was a little sad to see that, but it is what it is. And next year everything will come back, I'm sure. So, we're going to make this a little deeper on this side again, just to give it a little more depth to it. There we go. Okay. So, we had a lot of our churches are still closed. Some of the Amish had their churches going. I went past the place Sunday morning, just driving around a little bit, and I saw a couple Mennonite churches were open, and a couple of the Amish churches were open. Alright, so alright. We're going to round off the ears next. Well, I'll just take that edge off. Okay. Now you can undercut this if you want a little bit, like I did here. That's up to you. You don't have to, but it makes it look a little nicer if you can cut right inside here. Right inside here. You know, cut that out, and then look like you're undercutting a little bit. All right, so where was I? I don't remember. I was doing the ears. Okay. Just taking that hard edge off of there. Again, I'm going to go under the ear a little bit more to make that stick out a little further, and just kind of blend that in so it sticks out. See how it sticks out a little bit more? I'll do the same thing over here. I actually went to a store for the first time this week. Last week, I went to Walmart. I was ordering my stuff online. Have to say it was a real pain because a lot of the stuff they wouldn't have, and I think that was because everybody was buying stuff up. But I finally decided to go in. I would say nobody that day was in that store without a mask. It's required here in Pennsylvania, so most people are pretty good about it. Yeah, nobody likes wearing them, but it is what it is, as my sister would say. Alright, so we have that all trimmed off. Let me trim this one off a little bit more. And we are supposed to be open here on the 4th of June. We're supposed to be in yellow. We have 3 colors, of course. Red, yellow, and green. We're in the red now. We'll go into into yellow that week, and that means only some things will be open. Now I'm going around and I'm just trimming all this stuff off a little bit so you don't see those big hard edges, those square edges. I'm just going back and around. So, but parts of our state is in green and some of it is in yellow, but we're kind of sandwiched between Lancaster and Philadelphia, even though we're in the country here. Philly's about a good hour and 20 minutes away or so, and they got hit pretty hard. So, and the western part of our county did as well. We weren't as hit as hard. We're very close to the Lancaster County right here, so if I go on the other side of Honeybrook, you're in Lancaster. So, all right. So anyway, I hear that Canada is going to be opening up. So I'm trimming all this stuff off a little bit, getting it ready to put the fur on. I'm going to start doing the back here a little bit. And I scoop it out a little bit first. And then kind of blend this in a little bit. I'm going to go to a different knife. For some reason that knife is just not... Whoops, I'm sorry. Not doing what I thought. This is a Murphy knife. A little bit bigger. Blade's a little bit longer. Alright, now we're going to do his butt down here. We're going to just curl it. Tuck it under a little bit. Okay. Take this edge off and kind of blend everything together. I hate this autofocus. I know it's blurry at times, folks. I can't figure out how to do it other than doing it prior to being online and just running a video. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Here we're going to take the hard edges off again. Let's try a different knife. I'm not happy with any of these knives today. Okay. Let's get this up. There we go. Nice and sharp. Nothing like a nice sharp knife, especially when you're carving. Oh, we're going to take this off a little bit. Well, good question, Mule. I have tried. I bought a new camera, tried to hook it up to the phone, wouldn't work. I spent 3 hours trying to figure it out and decided to send it back to Amazon, which I am doing at the present time. Then I know the way to lock it. Something is wrong with Facebook because it doesn't allow you to lock focus. And hopefully there's no one you can call about that. It's just the way it is. So when I move this around and you see it blurry, getting blurry, and then it'll refocus all the time, it automatically comes back on when you live stream. You can't lock it in. With any camera, I think it's all going to be the same because if you can't do it with one camera, I don't think it's going to work with anything else. So I haven't figured that out yet. I've tried since I started this. I've been trying to figure that out, and I can't figure it out. So anyway, what we're going to do is the face. Let's get that all cleaned up and stuff. Okay, that's pretty well cleaned up. So we're going to put the eyes in next. We'll worry about the ears in a minute here. So the first thing we're going to do is take, the eyes are slanted down like so, and I do a pretty big area, okay? Because if you look at these eyes, they're fairly big, all right? So this is actually the eyelid. And then I kind of look at it and try to figure out exactly, it's very hard to match them up. So, okay, there you go. And you'll see me move it around. Once I cut and it doesn't look straight, I go back and I recut it. All right, so I put a stop cut in. I cut from the bottom up to the eyelid. You want to make sure you don't cut anything out. I don't put any eyebrows or anything on him. It doesn't make any sense because it's not a different color or anything. You can. It's up to you, but I don't put anything on there, so. All right. I believe it's Facebook that keeps adjusting it. I don't think it's the camera, because I can put the camera on focus and it doesn't stay that way when you go to live stream. If I make a video and I can put it onto YouTube, then it stays focused because it's on my camera and I put it onto YouTube. For some reason the streaming does not work right. Okay, so now I have this line here, and I'm going to just make a little, like a upside down, not exactly a U, but come straight down and then just turn. Have a little bit of a curvature right in the corner of the eye there, okay? And same thing over here. You want to go up to the top, underneath, and there, and you want to bring this out quite a bit. Oh, it's not even. Let's go down a little further. Let's bring that up a little bit. Okay. All right. So what you're going to do is take your little V tool and I do two little cuts, one towards the top, one towards the side, and then I do that little curve. Okay. Oh my. Okay, there we go. All right, and the same thing over here. You're gonna, or you can go down to the curve, turn it a little bit, and then go straight up. Do as well. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut all the way around that opening at an angle. Okay, see the angle? And then I'm going to cut from the inside and just kind of do a little bit bigger cut there, just like so. Okay, just like that. And then I do the corners a little bit, always, and to make it look a little rounder. Now, I wouldn't do these as fast as I'm doing now, but since we're on a time crunch. Okay, there we go. All right, so there you go with the eyes. Now, the bottom part of the nose comes down, and it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. It's up a little ways, and then I put a little upside down V on this. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to bring this up a little ways, and I'm going to go like a V with a little bit of a turn at the bottom. And an upside down a V. All right, just like that. Again, I use my, I know that doesn't look exactly straight, but I'm going to cut it in kind of far there. All right. Then I'm going to take the little V tool and go right up to the bottom part of his, and then fan it out. Now you can do this with a knife too, it's up to you. But there you go. There's the face. Now I put a little mouth in there, and where I do this is right here. And I pop a little mouth out right there, okay? And I'm going to work on this a little bit more when I get off the line to make it look a little neater. It's kind of hard to see it from where I'm at, but you get the idea. This comes down a little bit more. There we go. Same here. This needs to be cleaned up, but that's how you do it. There's no nose on. There's no nostrils that I put in here. I kind of just bring this out a little bit and take off those hard edges. All right, that's it. And that's the face. All right. Now, I could have gone a little bit lower with the nose, but all right. Now, the top of the ears, we need to just kind of bring them out a little bit. I've got to do this one a little bit here. All right, so he's basically done. So we want to take all this markings off of him if I can do it. Hello, Rhonda. All right, so that's roughly how the sheep is done for the body. Here comes the fun part, is doing the fluffy part of his fur. Sorry. My hot chocolate's getting cold. Anyway, what you want to do is, let me find my little V tool that I need. This is a number 2 rounded V tool, okay? If I can get that to focus. Okay, it's very small, and that's what I use to make all these little gouges that you see here. And I use the same one on this one here, okay? So how I usually do it is I look at my piece, and I usually work towards an edge, whether it's with the V tool or with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to the head, and I'm going to do it like a little lion, and you can go in different directions, like see how I did one on top of the other there. You know, you can do a couple of ones in one direction and then in another direction. See how I went this way and this way. So you just want to kind of go all the way around, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching movies galore lately. And I never was into slasher movies, ever. And not terrible, but a few of them. Interesting. Some very interesting plots in those movies. Makes you guess what's going on a lot of times. But I like thrillers. Alright, now, notice I'm going around the head first. That's probably the most important thing to do. As we're going to do the back portion, I'm going to ask my question to you folks about... now, this is a little funny here. You got to be very careful, because you don't have a lot of room in between here. Here I have a little bit more room. Sometimes it will change when you do one carving versus another. They're never going to be the same. If they were, they're not hand done. Well, some people can do that. I can't do that. All right. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it down here. So if you want to take a pencil, you can mark which direction to put it into. But you don't need a pencil. You have your tool. So what I'm going to do is just a few little marks like this. A few little marks like this. Show me which direction to go into. Okay? So when we're doing this, we're going to turn it over. We're going to start from the bottom. We're going to go to the feet here. And then you kind of fill in the middle. All right? And you can take a little bit longer strokes if you want, or cross them over a little bit. It gives them a little bit more, shorter ones are nice too, because it gives it a little more fluffier look to it. So notice I turned it around. Notice I turned it around now, so now I'm going in the opposite direction. And I'm filling in those flat spaces. Okay, so that's one section that's done. All right, so now we're going to go to this section over here. We're started at the bottom. Okay, and we're going to the foot. And right underneath the ear is okay too. All right, and we're going to go right along the foot here. The other hoof in the front. All right, and now you fill in the middle. Okay. Now, this is what you have so far. Now, right here, you're going to have to kind of fill that in a little bit. Now, we're not going to worry about this portion yet. He looks like a lion. I'm kidding. I've been in the house too long, folks. All right, so now we're going to continue on this way. Okay, this way. It's going to come down kind of straight. So, if I'm looking at this one, I'm going underneath the ear over here and underneath this portion. Okay, that's all I'm going to do right there. We're going to do the other side real quick. Notice there's rough spots here. I need to get rid of those first. Otherwise, they're going to come up darker when you start painting. Just take all that quick. All right. All right, so let's go to this side over here. Let's do the same thing. We're going to take our number 2 gouge, mini gouge, and now if you don't have these gouges, I have them here. I'm going to look into maybe some cheaper ones. I know the dockyards are quite expensive, and I have them here somewhere. Let me show you what I have in a pack here, just in case you're interested. I have a 5-pack. It comes with a V3, and it comes with 4 different types of round gouges. It comes with a 1.5, a 2, a 3, and a 5. And that does all my different types of projects I do on YouTube. This runs $78.50 delivered to your door. And this is the pack that I put together out of 2 packs that I bought years ago. And those are the 2 that I use exclusively. This is the pack that I use exclusively. So when they made a pack up for me, I said I don't want certain ones because I didn't find them useful. Now, everybody has a different preference on how these things are done, and that's fine. Okay, I'm going to go across the head here just to give me a guideline. Okay. Now you're going to fill all this in. So what I do down here is I go in the bottom and I kind of go towards this direction. Okay. Okay. The one thing I was going to ask you, since we're working on this, and I'm going to start filling this in, you can just watch. I'm trying to find a way to make the video clear. So what I like to do is do it on YouTube, and then on Tuesday nights flip it right when I'm ready to broadcast it on YouTube and put it on YouTube. I'll link it to Facebook, so you'll still find it on Facebook, but you'll have to go to the YouTube channel or just watch it within Facebook itself. No interaction what we're doing here, but if you'd rather have the live one every week, or the live ones here, you're okay with it being a little blurry when I do the final filming of it and switch it over to a DVD, I need to know that. So if you like the live broadcast, then I'll continue doing the live broadcast. If you prefer just to watch it on the video, and then you can watch it anytime, but it'll still go on the first time on Tuesday nights at 7:30, then we'll do that. So I need your input on that and what you would prefer to do. Okay. I don't mind doing these live broadcasts. It would be either way is fine, but I don't want to record it twice for the same project. I just want to do once, and either it's going to be a little bit blurry like this is, or it will be crystal clearer without the interaction. So that's what I need you to either give me a idea of what you would like, which one you would prefer, and we can do it either way. The other question is that I need input on is also what you would like to see done. Santas, whatever, ever. Give me some ideas for some other ones you would like to see done. Okay, so those are the two questions. Either put it on YouTube first or watch it live, or okay, Elizabeth. Thank you, Nina. Okay, well, I'll wait until I get a consensus and see how it goes, because I don't mind doing the live. I think it's interesting to see how many people popped up, and I think as summer goes on, it's going to be less people coming because they're going to be out and about, either doing yard work or something else. Okay, I'm doing the back side right now. This will take a little bit of time. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. I'll keep an eye on the camera here and see if anybody asks anything. And the other thing is, for the 4th of July, if I can get it done later this week, then I'll have cutouts available for you for it if you don't have it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so that's the input I need, and also. The only thing with the live broadcast, it's so blurry. I wish I could repair that. And if anybody out there knows an answer to that question with Facebook, I am all ears. I really am. It frustrates me that I spent hours trying to figure this out and I cannot figure it out. I don't know if that's part of aging and the technology gets ahead of you. I don't know. But usually I'm pretty savvy when it comes to computer stuff with this kind of thing. And all of a sudden it has me stumped. And I thought, every time I think I have a cure for it, it's like, no, it didn't work. So I'm not buying any extra cameras to figure it out. I just end up sending them back anyway. So I'll just stick with my old system. Well, that's good. If I don't move it a whole lot, it stays that way. All right, now we're done with the back, and we're done with the front. Now we're going to do the head. And it's pretty darn simple. You just keep following this around the corner here. And your V-tool really needs to be sharp to go across the cross grain. Okay, so I'm just going to start going across here, just like so. Notice I always have my thumb on the piece when I do this, and it only allows me to go so far, and it will protect me from cutting myself. But everybody should be wearing a glove. I don't wear one, and I know I got reamed out a few times about it in the past, and people have left me alone ever since. But I always suggest, if you're a new carver, always to wear a glove. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to finish this up here. Well, I'm going to try to do all my pieces, the suggestions that I see coming up, the fisherman, everything in a small, short form. That's kind of my style, and my signature is these small pieces, and the ornament style, or 3.5 inches or smaller. So we'll see what we come up with. I have a couple ideas for the 4th of July. I'm not sure which way I'll go with it. I'm going to carve a couple of things this weekend and see what I come up with. And then if I do have it done by next week, when we do the shepherd, I'll definitely share that with you. So if you need some blanks and stuff and the sizes together before we do that class, then you'll be ready for it. Okay. I still have some of these left yet. I went through half of my other box, my third box, so if you're interested in any of the cutouts for this particular set, it's a 12-piece set. You're more than welcome to do so, to order it. And everything's on my page online. Okay, folks, there you go. There is our little sheep. Oh, we'll do some Christmas ornaments for sure. Now that I have this one done, I'm going to put this one, and this one. The cow, the sheep. Whoop, where's the sheep? Oh, no, where's the other one? Hang on. I'm missing one. Okay. The donkey, the cow, and the sheep. I'll put that on another one DVD. The other one I have... So there's going to be, when I'm done with this, there's going to be 3 DVDs to complete this system, or this set. Alright, here's the other one that has the star, the baby Jesus, and these two. And it has the pattern for the, not to scale, okay? But I do have a pattern on how to make the manger in the background. So if you're interested in that, you can order that as well. All my DVDs run $14, and that includes shipping only in the United States. Okay, folks, I can't send it to Canada. It's too expensive. I'll just have to send some with Jack, I guess, the next time they come down. With Jack and Jenny, so they can be my post person. But anyway, so we're done with Fluffy over here. And I will definitely, Nina, you can order whatever you like or whatever you need. We'll take care of it for you. I hope that this has been a fun series so far for you. Again, give me some suggestions of things that you like. Send it to me in Messenger on Facebook, if you would, please. Or by email at thecarverswoodshop@yahoo.com. Or you can do, my donkey's nose is a little narrow too, but you need a little bit narrower than this one here. The cow is always a lot more broader. Okay, these are always a little more skinnier. But I hope that, if you can give me some suggestions about the live broadcast or just doing it on YouTube and then flipping it on Tuesday nights at 7:30 a new one when I do a series like this, I'll be happy to do that. It will just be a lot clearer. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this evening. I will call it another night here, and I'll be waiting for your response on that, and also any suggestions what to do next. Alright folks, thanks so much for joining me again here at the Carver's Wood Shop here in Honeybrook, PA, and good night folks.